Welcome. I'm Shavi. I am your integrative nutrition health coach. Today's topic, we're going to talk about motherhood or just becoming a parent. There's a lot of advice out there on becoming a I'm just going to talk about mother because I can't really talk about becoming a father because I'm not a father. But I can talk about being a mother. And for years and years, I wanted to be a mother so bad. Like, that's all I dreamt of. That's all I wanted was to become a mother. Um, and that happened for me at the age of 34 when I had my first. Unfortunately, she did not make it, so I do have an angel baby. And that experience kind of shifted my whole way of thinking, my whole way of living, my whole way of feeling is the excitement of having, or I should say, first being pregnant when you thought you couldn't be pregnant. And that's so exciting. It's like, oh, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. I'm so happy, I'm so happy. Like right away, I went to Walmart and I brought baby stuff. Like, yay. I can buy baby stuff. I was so excited, I was so excited, so excited. But in my pregnancy, I had emergency appendectomy, so that had to happen. And a month later, um, my baby girl's amniotic fluid got infected and I had to deliver her preterm. She was born alive and she died shortly after birth. That rocked my world naturally. Losing a child rocked my world naturally. And I grieved. I grieved a lot and I asked my husband, bring her back. Bring her back, bring her back. And about a month after losing her, I was pregnant again with my son. Now, the whole journey, like you can sit back and be like, when I become a mom, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna eat all organic foods, and I'm gonna first and foremost, I like to say that I became a liar early on because that was me. That was me saying, oh, I'm going to run, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to become a vegan, I'm going to eat organic, I'm going to, do this and do that. But what people don't really talk about too much in detail is that it's not about you anymore. It's about what the baby wants, what the baby needs, what your body needs. And at the time of my first pregnancy, my body needed meat. Like it needed the whole cow, right? I was bed rest. I was in and out of the hospital. So my plans did not happen. Now I want to fast forward to the shift, the transition, especially if you have your child later in life. You lived life, you was in the streets is no longer for you. You can sit back and kind of spend a little bit more time with your children and just nurture and be a parent, right? If you are older because it's something that you wanted. But during that time of not having a children, you probably was very productive, right? You were very productive. You were a go-getter, overachiever. You can devote all your time and attention to your job, to your social life, to yourself. And though you may want to be a mom, that transition is very hard. Very, very, very hard. And I know it got me. And I used to find myself saying and trying to remind people, yeah, I was cool, right? Back in my single days, back when I wasn't a mom, I was so sexy. I was so this, I'm in the army, so it's like, oh, my PT test is like 275. Yeah, like I'm pretty good. Like back, if you only knew me if you knew me not when I'm a mom. So everything is like past tense, right? Trying to remind people that you used to be something awesome before you looked tired, before you lost lack of sleep, before your clothes were not always have some bit of vomit on it, or your hair could have been, done before you start looking and feeling like a mom. It's always, I want to get back to how I used to be. That was a hard transition. That was really, really hard. It's like, I want my old self back. I want to be awesome again. I want to be sexy. I want my body back. I wasn't always chunky. I have to remind people. Those are the things, because, depending on how your pregnancy went, you may not have been able to go to the gym like you want to, especially during the, pandemic. Like, a lot of stuff has changed and you don't look as skinny as you used to be. You're not moving like you used to be. And that was my hold up. I was no longer who I used to be. And that is when I had to come to terms and sit back and say, I don't want to be who I used to be, because who I used to be was praying and wishing for who I am now. Who I used to be was wanting a family, a husband, and now I have it. So it's no going back to how you used to be. And that's when it hit me. It's not about being who you used to be, but learning to birth a new spirit. Learning to birth a new you. And still be awesome and fabulous and sexy and a mom and everything else. But who does she look like? What does she stand for? What is she about? And how is she going to manage her awesomeness, all levels of awesomeness, of being a productive individual, working, or a stay-at-home mom, or, for me, I want to homeschool. I want all the good stuff for my family, but how do I do it? How do I get everything that I want? And that's a whole nother level of meditation and birthing and strategizing and formulating and saying, okay, well, in order for me to get what I need to do, I need to add some more days and some more hours in the days. And that may consist of me waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going to sleep at 11. Whatever it is that I need to do in order for me to be successful. But that comes to you. That's what I figured out. It's all about you and how dedicated you are towards birthing a new spirit. Because that's the aspect of parenthood that's not talked about. That shift, that integration of the new you into your new way of living. Of course, we're going to go a little bit more detail in some videos to come. But I really want to talk on that. Learning to birth a new spirit. So while you're parenting and doing your mama duties or your daddy duties, really sit back and meditate. What does it mean to parent your way? What does that look like? How does that feel? And who's the new you? Namaste, wonderful people. Until next time, I'm Shavi. I'm your integrative nutrition health coach. Hit the description. Well, I always say hit the description. Subscription button on your way out. Namaste.